Conor Laverty, like All Ireland final coming up, you must like just to go straight into the emotion of it. You must be just so excited.
Listen, we're delighted as a club that we've got the opportunity to be here.
Yeah. Did you ever think that this day would come? I mean, you had so many tilts at Ulster. You know, there was those 7 tilts, and it didn't quite happen. Then you eventually get through. Did you ever think you'd see this day?
Listen, it's every young lad's dream is to represent your club in Croke Park, but we really have this year only taken one game at a time, Shane, and it's been important that we stick to the process for the same for the final.
I see there was a huge, I suppose I call it a mural, put up in your community centre or dressing rooms or somewhere like that, with all the players up on a map of Ireland and the 2 clubs. Is the excitement that's going on there something that you have to insulate yourselves from, or do you actually embrace it?
No, I suppose the best way to look at it is that it's been fantastic for the community, for the village. Like it's been super. Us players, we get to focus on what we have to do. We have to worry about ourselves and get our performance right. The management have been brilliant with that, so we've been trying to stay away from it. But it's great for the community that they're able to enjoy it and embrace it. And like I've never seen, like there's old men walking about just with a smile on their face from ear to ear. You don't even have to speak to them; they're just smiling constantly. And I suppose that's very important that them great men and women in our club who have took this club from Division 4 right through to Division 1 and have followed us all throughout Ireland and have been to every corner and down. They're getting their opportunity to wear their black and white colours to Croke Park to support the club they love. Like that's massive for them. Like
So, like, you know, I was in Bursley after they beat the St. Thomas's in the All-Ireland semi-final, and just the smile on everyone's face was unbelievable. And the players came in, and, you know, just the rest of the people in the parish were just clapping them into the pub. Can you tell me the reception you would have received after you beat Ballyboden and came back to the local area?
No, we went home.
Yeah?
Yeah, we chatted to our friends and families and supporters on the field briefly, but once we got back to Kilcoo, it was late enough too, to be fair. So we got back home and straight to bed to get recovery, and we had training we were meeting the next day.
How many years have you been playing for Kilcoo now?
I made my debut in 2002, so.
So this is your 19th season, or we're going into 19th season, whatever it may be. Where was the club at in terms of the pecking order and down at that time?
We had good underage teams coming through, and we were probably in Division 1 for 3 or 4 years, and it was in the back of that underage success that we were starting to make a breakthrough. But in 2003 then we won our first senior league, and that was probably celebrated equally as much as what Ulster was, because there was old men crying, and they had never experienced senior success. That was our first senior title in 70 or 80 years, so that was a massive achievement for the club.
And can you take me the Ulster final? I spoke with you before the Ulster final, and obviously, you know, you're just trying to keep focused on that. What was the buzz like to win that Ulster final against Naomh Conaill?
Once you're trying to do something for so long, you sort of start thinking, are we going to get over that line? And it was, for me and for the boys, it was a relief that eventually we have the pressure's off then, because it was always in the back of your mind that no matter what, whenever you finished, you're always going to be remembered as that team that couldn't get over the line in Ulster, and to have that off our backs now, it was fantastic.
Yeah, like how much would that have been bothering you? Because, like I said, you'd had, well, was it 6 or 7 previous attempts that didn't work out? So how heavy was that sitting on your shoulders?
Maybe not in the public eye, or you would never talk about it, but you still would have that burning desire inside you to get over the line in Ulster, and your career wouldn't have been fulfilled if we hadn't broke down that barrier.
How tough was that game against Ballyboden?
It was as physical a game as what you could ever play in. Like, they were a strong physical team, and it was a great battle. I really enjoyed the game, and like they were very, very decent fellas. Like, after the match, you couldn't get nicer lads. So that was a good sign of them too.
And you must be, it must be very busy for you at the moment. So you're working in Trinity, you're going up playing at home, you're involved in the Monaghan backroom team at the moment. I'd say your car is ready to fall apart.
That would be the joke about home, maybe, if you seen my car.
Well, tell us about your car.
No, jeez, it's a bad joke. If you're looking maybe a bit of sheep meal or something, you could maybe gather it out of the back of it. But no, sure, it's working at the minute, and you have to live in the present. You can't look to the future or anything. So you just have to take every day at a time. And at the minute, these things are working out. But full focus has been on Kilcoo. Like everything else takes a backward step behind this Kilcoo, and that's always been the case. Kilcoo's always been number one, no matter what it's been, and nothing's really changed there.
Has that always been the way, even when you were like playing for Down for years and years, that it was always Kilcoo's number one?
Okay, yeah. To be honest, yes. That maybe. It was maybe difficult at times because Kilcoo was always, I remember nights rushing home to get to the end from Down training to catch the last 10 minutes to even see the last 10 minutes of Kilcoo training, both me and Aidan, and even just to show the boys that we were still about and we were still there, because it's hard whenever you're away for a period of time playing with the county, but it's important to show face and to be about as much as possible. And listen, it was always Kilcoo was number one.
Yeah, because you would hear that a lot, that county players, and I'm not saying through their own fault, but they wouldn't be seen for maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 months of the year. When did you twig that I need to show face around the club, I want to stay involved?
No, I think that was always the case. That, and to be fair, like, the boys wouldn't have let you away any other way. That's the truth. They would have been on your case if you hadn't been there. So that's just the way it started from the very start, and it was always the way that we were about the squad. And if on different nights that if you weren't out with Down, you were there at the pitch, should have been throwing balls out to the boys or just being about the place.
When I watched the two semi-finals, I thought, like, as everyone knows anyway, Corofin, beautiful football team. They play it in what everyone would say is the right way. And I watched your semi-final and I was like, geez, you're playing some lovely stuff also. It kind of has the feeling of a dream footballing final.
Listen, Corofin are a fantastic team. They're going for the title of the best club team ever. They're going in as red hot favourites, but they play a great brand of football, and that has to be admired as well. But we also have great belief in ourselves. So hopefully on the day it'll be a good game.
And you'd hear this also from underdogs, that when you're up against a team that's got so many brilliant players and former and current county players, that you can probably overcomplicate things by trying to focus on shutting down all these different players and then never end up playing your own game. Is that something that you kind of have thought about, that we need to make sure that we play Kilcoo football too?
We've had a process all year before each game, and we have honestly taken each game at a time, looked at the opposition, analysed them, identified their strengths and their weaknesses, but at the end of the day we always reverted back till we have to concentrate on ourselves and we have to be ready to go ourselves, because there's no point concentrating on the opposition and not being ready yourself. So listen, we're just fully focused on the task ahead. We know the challenge that lies ahead of us, but we're just going there to do ourselves proud and ultimately give a performance that'll do our village and our parish proud.
And just the fact that you're getting to see the club colours at Croke Park, that must mean a lot to everyone.
It's probably the most important thing, is getting to give the opportunity to great men and women who have done tremendous work, followed us in good days, but also in the bad days, whenever times were tough. They were standing there, them matches, rain, hail or snow, and now they've got their opportunity to go to Croke Park with a smile on their face and see their team run out on the Croke Park, and it's a dream for them, and I'm just delighted that they're all involved.
Brilliant stuff, Conor. Best of luck.
Good man, thank you, Shane.
Thanks for watching Our Game. Don't forget to like and share the videos, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe.